I think were a little bit different, and I think that was going to make things a little interesting for us because we're talking Asuka, the Raw Women's Champion, right?
Wait, I just realized. I looked at my notes. I think this is how forgettable that match was that we skipped over it.
It was Lashley.
Yes.
Zayn.
Lashley versus Zayn.
Okay, before we get to the women's match that was promising more, let's talk about, this is how I described it to my dad. It was each brand's mid-card title holder going up against each other.
Yeah.
The United States champion, Bobby Lashley, representing Raw and the Hurt Business, against Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental champion, representing SmackDown.
I'll admit, I heard a bit of rumors beforehand. They were saying that it was going to be a squash match, which it wasn't as bad as they made it sound,
Agreed.
But, like, it still, to me, it was like, man, not only is it a match that we've seen before, well, at least it was last year, though, or no, I think it was like a year or two ago, actually, that we last saw this match. Mm-hmm. But, it was okay, I at least they played up a lot of, Sami Zayn trying to use heel tactics to win, but not being let to use them because of the Hurt Business.
Yeah, and in this case, heel tactics were kind of calling foul when foul wasn't to be called,
Yeah.
Because Bobby Lashley was being flanked by his fellow Hurt Business members, but everyone was respecting, the rules of the game. Didn't interfere, didn't even try. They just were standing as vigilant observers. Menacingly, perhaps, but can't fault him for that.
Yeah, it only came close when Sammy went after Alexander.
Isn't that cool? Did you catch that? Did you catch, Jack, why of the three men that were surrounding him, he slapped Cedric Alexander?
No. I didn't.
It was such a good move. And I'm certain this is the reason. But Sami Zayn's outside, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander are surrounding him. But they won't touch him. Even though Sami is egging them on, he finally slaps Cedric. And Shelton holds him back. And I thought that was brilliant. Why? Because Sami knows that of the three of them, which one is the most hot-headed and the one that would react the most emotionally is the youngest one.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, if I'm going to get one of you, boom, I'm going to get you, the one who just recently joined. And he did. But Sheldon goes, no, leave me. And I thought that was so good.
Yeah, that was a really good spot. But, I think the match went a bit under 10 minutes, so, it wasn't that long of a match. It mainly kind of played up, Sammy being a heel and just kind of showing off Bobby Lashley's strength for the most part.
Hey, can I read you a tweet that Sami Zayn put out on Thursday that I thought was hilarious?
Sure.
This isn't hype of the match. Sami Zayn writes, I hear that as United States champion, Bobby Lashley is working on a new finishing move called the American Way, where he sets up a base on my property, destroys my home, has his friends take whatever is left, and then says he's doing it for freedom and makes me to look like the bad guy. Oh, that was good.
Oh, man. I love Sami Zayn so much. He really knows how to get people annoyed and also really knows how to play that cowardly heel really well.
Oh, yeah.
As much as I miss him being the underdog babyface that he always was, at least, he's still entertaining whether it's heel or babyface for me.
Agreed. But it was Lashley who came out on top with the Hurt Lock. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Full Nelson?
Yeah.
The unescapable Hurt Lock.
Well, now we move on to the women's championship match. Champion versus champion. SmackDown champion Sasha Banks versus Raw champion Asuka.
And for as many times as we've seen this match, and we were reminded by commentary, who again gets another shout out here. I think in hindsight, they did a pretty great job last night.
Yeah.
That they've met how many times, Jack, and all the times that they've fought? How many times have each woman won?
I think they said Asuka had the advantage.
She's won every single time they met one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's what they said. But this time, we got a Sasha Banks who's walking in as SmackDown Women's Champion for the first time.
Yeah. And, despite seeing this match so many times, especially over this summer, as we've covered, what I really liked was that despite seeing this match so much, they still had a different take on the match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this match was, like, the key story to me was how, because they've met so much, it was a match that was heavy on reversals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they've met so much, each woman now knows, like, what to expect from each other, especially, like, in one-on-one, they fought so many times, they know essentially what moves they're going to break out, when to move at one point,
Yeah.
what counters to use, even in many of the different pinfalls.
I heard commentary, I think it was maybe Samoa Joe, was he out there?
I believe so.
I think it was him who said, I kind of expected for there to be more striking than we've seen. And as he said it, I thought 100% the same thing. I thought, yeah, you know what? I was 100% expecting striking as well. But to your credit, sir, perhaps you captured why. Because they've met each other as many times as they had. And they've gone to that well and realized that because if this needed to be different, they needed to take a different approach. So we saw a lot of submissions and a lot of like quick pin attempts.
Yeah. And I believe that is... I mean, it was... I can see why the ending was, you got to protect both. So they didn't give Sasha the clean win, but, it still played off of, again, what the whole story of the match was, because she ends up reversing one of Asuka's pins into another pin, getting the win.
Yeah. Which is, it's always nice for that to happen, because when we find ourselves in this moment with two other wrestlers where they go one after the other, pin for pin, we know it could end there. You know what I mean? Did you guys get around to watching Full Gear AEW?
No. I saw the results at least.
As a matter of fact, this match just finished was very similar to Darby Allin versus Cody Rhodes. Two people who also met on multiple occasions before their Full Gear match.
Yeah.
Darby beats them after the fifth or sixth reversed pin attempt, and it was wild. It was good.
Yeah. And, the one thing that surprised me, because, again, our history, knowing a lot of what WWE does most of the time, I was surprised there was no interference on either side.
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought that Sasha's got Carmella, breathing down her neck.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's challenging Asuka anytime soon.
I think the only one they've been hinting at, or at least starting a slow build for it, is Mia Yim. Under her moniker of Retribution, they've kind of been building that she's gonna go after her.
Her name is Reckoning, Jack.
You're right. She's smart.
But, you know what? Yeah, and every other wrestler who could have interfered for their own personal gain was a bit preoccupied getting ready for later tonight.
Yeah. I will say, Mia Yim is smart with keeping Reckoning separate from Mia Yim, because she knows that at any point, if Retribution gets canceled, she can just be like, that wasn't me. That was a whole separate thing.
Even smarter than her was Mercedes Martinez, who just decided, I ain't doing this.
She saw the reaction they got after the first or second appearance and was like, yeah, no, I'm out.
Ali on Instagram had, I think, the post of the night, though, because after the men's Survivor Series match we've already covered, he said, Retribution beat Team Raw beat Team SmackDown, ergo, Retribution could beat Team SmackDown. And I go, this guy, that's it. If you're not on the card, you're online. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is Retribution's so good online and in the media game, but yet, like, when they get to the ring, when they get to the promos, it's just like, man, why aren't you letting them do what they're doing on social media?
It's funny. It's so meta. It's unfathomable.
Yeah, but so
they're this generation's Zack Ryder.
Yeah, but so again, another really good match between Sasha and Asuka.
Agreed.
I saw people saying, it was really difficult to decide who came out with the win because, like, right now, both women really need it,
Mm-hmm.
Especially, like, you have Asuka, who really she hasn't had any real credible threats for a while in her reign.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Banks, she barely won the title, and, like, I mean, you got to kind of keep building momentum for her.
And again, this one was Corey Graves. Again, this commentary. Oh, it makes or breaks a show, Jack. At the beginning of the match, Corey Graves made note of the fact that Sasha, whenever she wins a belt, kind of goes on to lose it almost immediately, right?
Yeah.
If she's 5-time Raw Women's Champion, she wasn't champion for very long, and I don't think she's ever successfully defended a singles title on the main roster.
Mm-mm.
So it was made clear before this match, which was an exhibition match, no title on the line. They said she's got to pull a victory out here if she wants to, like, break that pattern. Otherwise, we would see her lose this title again if it was on the line.
Yeah.
So it's really neat for her character and that growth for her to win.
Yeah. But so, there's about 3 minutes left, so I'll just cover this lastly because, I mean, it can fill up the 3 minutes. We get a segment with the 24/7 title.
Yes!
You see the gobbledygooker get rolled up by Tozawa, who gets the belt, who then gets rolled up by R-Truth to take the belt. And
Jack, we could spend 3 hours talking about the gobbledygooker.
do you know who was under there, apparently?
No, who?
It was Drew Gulak.
Incredible. Incredible.
I don't know
I
about
wish you'd
you.
taken the head off now.
I don't know about you, but at this point, like, I just think, man, does this title need to be retired?
You think so?
I feel like that just because I feel like they kind of exhaust a lot of it,
Yeah, I mean...
Like,
yeah.
Like, it
I
seems
don't want
like
to
it's...
spend more time on it than you've decided, but the gobbledygooker was great. He is now in the record books as a title holder in 2020. Goodness, great. And the book says gobbledygooker.
Oh, man.
I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
I wish we had brought it up earlier when we brought up the pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was even better. They set something up in the pre-show that they paid off in the actual show. How often do they do that, Jack?
Very rarely.
Goodness gracious. It does the soul good.
You remember, Hell in a Cell's pre-show didn't even have any matches. It was kind of just, somewhat of a recap of what's going to happen later that night.
And did Akira Tozawa, the ninja, because that's his thing now, he's a ninja, have a ninja referee?
Yeah.
That cannot go unsaid. We can't not mention the fact that Akira Tozawa has his own referee and he too is a ninja. And because he's got this mask that only shows his eyes. But he's wearing a ref shirt with the stripes.
Oh, man.
I don't care what you say, Jack. I love it. I hope they do it again.
Yeah. Oh, man. But so, we'll finish off here. In the next episode, we got to cover the women's elimination match, the Reigns versus Roman match, and the Undertaker's final farewell.
Exciting. I'll see you there.
Tune in to the next episode.